There's a lot of financial advice out there these days. I know a lot of them try to keep it as generic as possible, but today I'll be sharing 5 that I just don't agree with. Disclaimer, I'm not saying that these advice are bad, I'm just saying that you shouldn't blindly follow them just because a lot of people say you should. Getting straight into it, the first one is that debt is bad. We hear this a lot, debt always has a bad rep. People tell you that you should stay away from it if you can, and if you do have any debt, that you should clear it as fast as you can. But debt is just a tool, and whether it's good or bad for us, it will depend on how we use it. I know that debt can destroy people if it's used wrongly, but if you use it in the right ways, it can actually do a lot of good for you. In fact, many rich people use debt to further build their wealth. Examples of this, I've done a video about how ASB financing can outperform normal ASB. I also did a video about how I took a personal loan from RHB and invested that money to make a profit. Credit cards also fall under this category, and I know many people, including my friends, who will stay away from credit cards at all costs. The thing is, if you can pay your credit card bills on time every single month, it will not only help you build your credit score, it will also give you some nice cashback. This year alone, I'm pretty sure I've gotten over 800 ringgit just from credit card cashbacks. The second financial advice that we commonly hear is that you shouldn't spend so much money on X. We hear this a lot, it can be anything. Some people might say you shouldn't spend so much money on a car, just buy a second-hand Myvi. Or you shouldn't pay so much for Starbucks coffee, just make your own coffee at home, it's nicer and cheaper. The thing is, everyone likes different things, and the way that we spend should be based on what we value. My rule is that as long as I can save 30% of my income, I can spend however much I want on whatever I like. Our personal finance journey is a long-term game, and we don't want to put unnecessary restrictions on ourselves just because of what other people say. So if you want that avocado and toast for breakfast every morning, go ahead and get it. Just remember to cut back on other areas of life so you still have enough money to save and invest. The third advice that we commonly hear is that you should save as much money as you can when you're young. And we hear this a lot, especially from people in the FIRE movement. Basically, their advice is that we should sacrifice the fun things in life that cost money when we're young so that we can use that money to invest instead. The concept is right. If we save money at a young age, we'll have more time to invest that money and let that compounding help us further. But you have to find the balance between saving for the future and enjoying your time now. Yes, if you don't buy those Taylor Swift concerts and invested that money instead, you will have a pretty nice amount by the time you retire in your 50s or 60s. But when else are you going to attend a Taylor Swift concert? We hear a lot of stories about how people don't save up for retirement, and by the time they hit that age, they struggle financially and don't have a good life. We obviously don't want that to happen. But on the other side of the coin, we also don't want to be those people that sacrifice so much in their life to save up for retirement only to regret not enjoying themselves while they were younger. There are many things in life that we can only do at a young age, like enjoying ourselves when traveling, attending concerts and stuff like that. So find that balance between saving money for the future and enjoying yourself right now. So a tip to do this is to create a sinking fund. This is basically money that you separate away from your bank account, your emergency funds and your investments, and this is money that you're going to spend however you like on things that you want to buy or experiences that you want to go for. The fourth common financial advice that I hear all the time but I disagree with is a bit controversial, and that is to buy a house as young as possible. We know a lot of people think that renting is a waste of money and that you should buy a house as fast as you can, because if you rent, you're helping someone else pay off their mortgage instead of paying off your own. But renting has a lot of benefits, and I think it's a good idea, especially when you're young. Depending on where you live, renting is almost always cheaper than buying your own place. For example, the place that I live in right now costs 650,000 ringgit to buy, so monthly payments would be around 3,200 ringgit. To rent, I'm only paying 2,000 ringgit for the exact same unit, and I don't have to pay for a lot of other stuff like repairs, maintenance and other fees. But the main reason that I prefer renting over buying my own place when I'm young is that it gives you so much flexibility. Are you moving jobs? Then you can always move closer to your office. Do you not like a new development in your area? You can always just move somewhere else. And let's say you're tight on cash because you have a new commitment that just came up. You can always decide to downgrade your rentals so you can pay a lower amount as soon as your contract ends. These are all things that you cannot do when you buy a house because you're putting yourself into a big commitment at a young age. So personally, I will only buy my own place once I'm ready to settle down and I know where I want to live, But realistically, as someone in my 20s, I just don't think I'm ready to commit just yet. Yes, you might be paying someone else's mortgage, but you pay a lower amount and you get so much flexibility in return. To me, that's a good deal. The final thing on this list is that you should always clear your debt and build up an emergency fund before you even start thinking of investing. For most young people, I actually think that you can do all of these things at the same time. The exception to this is if you have any high interest loan like credit card debt. If you have it, then definitely pay those off first. The reason for this is that paying off those high interest loans will actually give you better returns than any investment that you can make. But if you have acceptable loans like PTPTN, where the interest rate is low and your financials are in check, then you can always pay off those debt, save up your money, and invest all at the same time. I believe that there's a lot of value of investing at a young age, even though your portfolio is small. You'll get the hang of how investing works, how the markets work, and it will prepare you for when you eventually have a larger portfolio. So if your finances are all under control, you're paying off your low interest debt, you're saving up for your emergency fund, don't be afraid to put a small amount into investments as well. So these are my personal takes on common financial advice that we hear on social media these days. Let me know what you think about my takes. If you agree with them, smash the thumbs up, and if you don't, just smash the thumbs up anyway. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.